Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel called Bookworms. So today we're going to talk about a little bit once again about literature, and today we're going to be focusing on the novella called The Little Prince that is written by Antoine Saint-Exupéry. It's a timeless novella that has enchanted readers of all ages since it was written in 1943.
Well, at first glance, it appears to be a simple children's story that we usually read when we are little. But The Young Prince is more than that. It's a person who travels from planet to planet, that it shows the complexity of everything they speak about. However, beneath the whimsical surface, exploration of the human nature, love, and loss. So what do we think about this storyline? We read it on sixth grade, and it was too much long ago, but we have like the idea of what is it about.
Honestly, I remember reading it for the first time when I was learning English when I was much younger. And it was very complicated for me to get it at first, but then I also saw the movie after that, and I just.
It's a movie.
Yes, there's a movie, and it's very, very good. It came out like almost 10 years ago, I think. So I think it was a very innocent and pure childhood novel that made sense for a lot of children and adults who wanted to go back to like a nostalgia feeling of reading something where they could remember themselves as a child, basically. Yeah. So also one of the main ideas of this novella is totally about the innocence and the childhood that we have. Is that like the Little Prince is the purity and pure wisdom found in a childhood innocence. Like the Little Prince is so straightforward, and like it challenges the adults' way of thinking. How they how they receive the world.
I think it's so ironic that when you read it as a child, you don't understand everything of the book. Like I have seen some pieces of the movie on Instagram, and I have saw like it has a more deeper philosophic philosophical meaning that as a child we don't understand. If you read it as our age 17, 16, I believe that it's better because you understand a lot of the things that usually as a child, because of the innocence that you have, you don't understand. And it's so beautiful how the kids like fell in love on this story just because of the adventure, but now we can see it another perspective, and for me it's wonderful.
Yes, one of the things that when like you said when we read it on sixth grade, I remember somebody telling me, an adult telling me, it's great that you're reading this story. It's a pretty great story. It was a person that even had on his arm. Oops. Okay. So yeah,
Say it in the because Lisa always
gets out of school. So I think also another perspective that we can find in this novel is that the bond and relationships that are formed, especially the love that is that the little prince has for the rose, even though it has thorns, and how.
I love that part. It's like so important for us to understand that as a child, because it's something that we live so.
I think love is like the main thing about being a human. So as a child, like when we were little kids reading it, we didn't understand the whole perspective of love. So now that we are much older, we do get it, and we understand that love is not always about perfection. It's more about caring and being there for the other thing or person.
Yeah, about you saying being there for the other person. I haven't write it down here that it is like such a great line in this novela, which is called "You become responsible forever for what you have taken." For like, you need to have like that affection, responsibility upon the other's feelings once you build that type of affection with them. And it's such a like you when you are a kid, you don't understand that. So what I was trying to say is that somebody, even a person that loves this story, even has like something tatted on their arm, which is like the hat. The house also is like a form of an elephant.
Yeah, that's
They
I-
love that story, and they told me it's great that you're reading it right now, back in sixth grade, but you should totally read it once again once you're older, because maybe you don't understand something that you're reading right now, but you will once you grow up.
I think I will read it again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
totally.
because right now we're reading the
Like
House
a-
of
Spirits
House of Spirits
by Isabel Allende.
that it's of 1952, I think.
No, 1982.
90 so far, but it's so different of the Little Prince, and it's the level of we're getting
Of the
onto-
maturity that we are getting and processing. So we've read The Little Prince almost, I think, half a decade ago when we were in sixth grade, and now we're reading about basically violence and other types of love.
We're seeing it. The things that they show us on the Little Prince, we're seeing that like
Exactly, but in another
hardly word
Yeah.
way of like
not,
pain.
like another form of love that we didn't consider it would be real as when we were children.
And in a critique way, I do think that maybe Little Prince it's not for kids.
No.
It's just that it's well, teacher. I know if you're seeing, if you are actually seeing this right now, BoJack Horseman, like that series shows in a way like on the animation that usually is for kids, but shows something that
Only
is for-
adults can understand.
and I think Little Prince maybe is that, and
It's-
the author,
yeah,
author
it's-
meant to make an BoJack Horseman and accidentally
Made a Little Prince. I
a
think
young story.
I think it's so true that we should have read that as a child. It's very captivating, but I also think that as an adult we can see it from a whole new perspective that would be so different from us. I think perception is the whole world, and us being able to read something again that we haven't read in almost a decade is going to change how we see stuff that nowadays are happening to us. Like when we were 8 years old, the only love we gave and received was to our parents, family, some friends, but now
We
going-
thought that was it.
yeah, we
Now
thought that-
we're understanding that love is more that my friend who gave me this, or
Yeah,
my
or-
mom who gave me a hug. Love is so much deeper than that. That I think the story wants us to acknowledge that. And part of this, of the critique of the Little Prince, that is part of the young story, maybe they want to show us about perspective. Maybe the part that Stefania said, the hat. The hat, you remember that it was the
A hat or an elephant?
yeah, no, it was
No, I mean not an elephant.
snake.
a snake who ate a elephant.
Yeah.
And the hat. Maybe is that they want to show us the moral of the story was perspective.
Yeah.
Maybe when we were little, the perspective they want to show us was this funny adventure.
Superficial. It was superficial.
Yeah.
Now it's more profound and
Yeah.
deeper
It's
than
way more deeper.
it's
Yeah.
more deep
I-
than we think.
I think that the author of this story had it very like analyzed what he was doing. Like he knew what he was doing, and I think it's one of those things that we saw in a way when we were a child, and once we grow up and we go back and remember some specific times, and we like go within ourselves like, oh my god, I didn't saw it that way, or I saw it completely different, or I thought it meant this, or like you said, something superficial. I thought it was just this, not
We
anything
all
deeper.
thought it was a simple story. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, the little prince. The little prince.
It has a rose. There's a snake. There's some adults.
Well, there was
Yeah.
the adults, the part of the adults. It was a hard part.
Yeah.
It was really deep, that part.
It was-
And now that I remember, it's
I mean, when it said like the man, the businessman,
The
who
business-
counted
the
who
stars.
counted- who counted
Yeah.
stars, like
And-
we take it at that time like, oh my god, it's so funny. He counted stars like they were theirs, but now we just realize how like the absurdity of the adults' priorities right now. Like you take it in a way different, in a such different way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
it-
the geographer that
Yeah.
never explored.
yeah, exactly.
It's
It was
the irony.
all the
it's,
irony.
It's the irony.
The irony teacher.
We know what the irony is, and it's basically all of this. Our little brains when we were, 11 years old, 10, and now seeing it from 5 years later, or being adults. If you have read it, you'll see-
Almost adults.
almost
Almost
not. But I think that it's a story that we should have read in 6th grade and 12th grade
I
or
think
11th.
That could be something like we can do it. Like
We should implicate it.
Yeah, because now is the day that we need to read that, to see that, to understand that, because we're living that. We're living what they are trying to tell us. And for example, that the story challenges us to consider the values, cherish our relationships. That I don't think that almost any one of these of our class do that. Cherish their relationships.
Yeah.
That relationships, it's not just my boyfriend or my girlfriend. No, it's our friends, our family, even our teachers.
And you know, we, I mean, we're in 11th grade, almost in 12th grade, almost graduating school, and we talk a lot about vocation. And I think that reading this and talking about all those adults with like really stupid things that they're doing, it tells us how like these characters symbolize how adults can be
Still a kid inside, I think.
and but also can become like consumed by like and meaningless like pursuits, or we have like not a very good goal in our lives. And now that we're talking about vocations or professions or what we are doing with our lives, maybe it takes us to like analyze more, like, is this what I really want to do?
Maybe it's
Is this for me?
like our little ourselves.
I think we're getting very past the point that this
Yeah.
should have. It's almost 15 minutes. So
Oh my God.
this was everything. Thank you so much, teacher,
Thank you for giving us
Thank you,
15
teacher.
minutes of talking
about
to-
our nostalgia, basically.
I feel like this was a psychological, like,
Yeah, for sure.
We should totally keep doing this and open a YouTube channel,
And I hope you, teacher, will be the first subscriber to our channel.
basically.
thank you for everything.
Bye.
Teacher.